Welcome traders. Today I'm diving deep into a review of last week's weekly swing plays that I gave out. And when I say spectacular, I mean spectacular. An astounding 89% success rate on the plays I handed out to you guys that I handpicked. Now over the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've done on average 75% plus. Okay, over the 4 or 5 weeks. 75% of our plays have worked out. This week it was 89%. But it's not just about the numbers in this video and the charts. It's about a transformation. And at the end of this video, hopefully you'll not only be informed, but also inspired to apply these lessons to your trading journey and to use these strategies in your trading journey. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Your trading journey is important, and this review is your chance to learn from the real world examples that have happened over the past week. Now, I put these weekly swing videos out for you guys for free every single week. I do daily watch lists for you guys for free every single week. The other thing that's free is my Discord. The Discord that I have is free to join. The link is in the description below in this video. So make sure you are joined there. If you want the extra help, there is a paid membership, but 95% of that room is free. So make sure you guys are clicking on that link and joining. Let's take a quick look at this list. We're going to run through it. The screen you see is TradingView. Again, if you don't have anything like this, there's a link in the description below. There's a ton of links for you guys to look through in those descriptions. But this link will provide you with a 30-day trial to their sub-based services and then a discount if you decide to use those sub-based services. So the first one we've got was Alcoa. And we talked about this double inside bar. So for those of you that don't know what an inside bar is, an inside bar doesn't break the high or the low of the previous candle. It stays within the existing range of that previous candle. So it's a consolidating candle. So we had 2 straight weeks of consolidation on Alcoa, and I told you guys we're looking for a breakout to break above the pink line or below that pink line, either above that inside bar or below that inside bar. And we went for a spectacular run this week on Alcoa. And you'd have to go back in time to find the targets, but the targets are just the low of the preceding wick. So here's one, and here's one down here that would have just missed. But that's all you guys would have had to do. You buy the swing when it triggers. You're getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 weeks out. Doesn't matter, but you're going to get at least 2 weeks out. And we're letting it ride. Okay? We move on to BA. So that's 1-0. Let's take that into account. I think there's about 24 setups on here. And I think we hit 23 of them. We go on to BA, Boeing. We had the 2-up red shooter candle. We triggered down. And again, we hit multiple targets. And the targets are just the low of the preceding wicks. So when we look at it, we hit this first target. Then we hit this second target. Okay? So another successful trade on Boeing. That's 2-0. We move to BIDU. There's 3-0. Look at that big run off of that trigger. And yes, it gapped, but we hit multiple targets on the way down to move 3-0 on BIDU off of an outside bar. Okay, so we could have played the high or the low. I had the low marked out. Coca-Cola. This one you should still be in profit. Even though it didn't hit targets, we haven't come back through that original trigger. You should still be in profit if you're still in Coca-Cola. But that puts us to 4-0 because you still would be in profit. And although we didn't hit targets, we are still in profit on this trade. We move on to DraftKings. Okay, DraftKings had that 2-up red shooter candle. And we had time frame continuity to the downside. We triggered. And boom, we hit targets on the way down off of that red shooter candle. That puts us to 5-0. Here's the first one that did not work out. Okay, we had triggers on the both sides of this inside bar. We ticked up just barely. I'll zoom in so you can see that. Just barely did we tick up. And then we reversed through and went outside bar. Now, we talked about outside bars a ton in the Discord. We took some on SPY. Some outside bar plays earlier this week on the Thursday, but this one went outside bar. So that puts us to 5-1. We move on to Home Depot. As I zoom out here, inside bar shooter candle, triggered, bottom of the wick, targets, 6-1. Ford Motor Company, there's an inside bar shooter candle, 7-1 on Ford as we triggered on there. CL, we triggered to the upside off of the inside bar. Hit targets, 8-1. Airbnb to the downside off the inside bar shooter candle. Shooters are an actionable signal in the strat, as are inside bars. Triggered off of the inside bar to the downside, hit multiple targets. I think that's 8-1. AFRM, we are stuck inside bar, so you know this double inside bar will be on my setups for next week, the week of the 23rd, October 23rd. So that's one, does not count. We move on to AMD. This puts us to 9-1. Again, off of the shooter candle. 2 up red shooter candle. We didn't hit targets, but we hit this trigger right here to the downside. That put us to 9-1. Cisco. Okay, here was an outside bar, but let me show you this. Triggered, hit the first target, okay? And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these things to hit their targets. That's a profit-taking opportunity. So even if it didn't hit, I will give you guys this one. I didn't when I did my percentages, but we'll say we're 9-2 or 10-2 or whatever we are off of this. Doesn't really matter. CVX, okay, we triggered and we hit this target. And again, not a great target, but it was hit. So that puts us to 10 or 11-2. Now we go to D-Dog. That puts us to 12-2. We triggered and hit 2 targets. Still in profit here as we haven't retraced the trigger point. eBay, 13-2 off of this continuation that we had, 2-2 continuation. Okay, and part of the reason I said that is because we were 2 down on the month, that blue line. If we go to the month, we were 2 down on the month. I said look for the continuation off of this play. So I think that's 13-1 EW. Or I said 13-2. So we'll say this is 13-3. Again, we triggered, we did not target, and we reversed. Okay, missed the targets, we reversed. So we'll say 13-3 at this point. GE, 14-3. Look at this run. Triggered, targets, fantastic. GS, inside bar, on the weekly, shooter candle, triggered, targets on the way down. I don't even know anymore. 14 or 15-1. IWM, look at this. 2 up red, shooter candle. We said, let's go to the downside. Boom, to the downside. Inside bar, outside bar. That Nirvana pattern, that 1-3 pattern. Well, we hit triggers down to the bottom. I think that's 16-3. Lift. We look at lift. Triggered. First target. Achieved. Okay, 17-1. Like, this stuff is very, very, very simple, guys. I call this organic trading. The strat is organic trading. There's no indicators. Okay, we have our triggers and our targets and the candlesticks. Those are our indicators. The candlesticks are our indicators. The candlesticks tell us when to get in. The candlesticks tell us when to get out. And it's really, really that simple. And again, I've lost track like I normally do on these setups. But Neo, here's another one. We had that inside bar, outside bar, 1-3 Nirvana setup. We crack it to the downside. Now this is probably 18-3 we are. Procter & Gamble, triggered, hit 2 targets on the way up, and you're still in profit on this thing if you jumped into Procter & Gamble. So again, we're like 20-1 on this. Pinterest had this 2 up, finish red, boom, to the downside, targets achieved. QCOM. So here's one where we had a 2 down red and we ended up trending up. So I would have wiped this one clean. We don't even count it. You could have played that outside bar, that 50% rule, and you can look for that in my channel. Speaking of the channel, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Give me a thumbs up. There are 100+ learning tools in this channel, plus whatever I do in the Discord, and it's all for free for you guys. QCOM on to shop. Now, in saying that, if you want to support me with the membership, go right ahead. Support me if I've helped you in any way. I appreciate it. It helps pay for my time to do these videos. But the memberships are great. It's $50 a month. You buy 2 months, you get 1 month free, so 3 months total for the price of 2. You get the top fives from the weekly swings, from the daily setups that I send out every day. You get one-on-one time with me. There's live trading bots, so the trades come directly to you. You don't have to go looking for them. They're alerted to you on tickers like SPY, QQQ, Disney, Tesla, and a bunch of others. And then I also have a 1-hour course that teaches you guys all about the strat, all for $50. You'll make that back in one trade. You can ask members in the room that have done the same thing that pays for their membership in one trade. Okay, from Shopify, we move on to Tesla. Had a poor earnings, and that catapulted this swing trade off of this 2-up red shooter candle all the way to the downside. Okay, big run, big wins if any of you took Tesla. Walmart, we had this inside bar on Walmart. We took it to the upside, hit targets. We still haven't come back through that trigger, but you should have had some profit here already off of this Walmart play. And that's a list, guys. Like 23 and 3 or 21 and 3 or whatever we were. This stuff is simple for you guys to learn, but you need to put in the time, you need to put in the effort, you need to put in the commitment to learn this stuff. I have a member, and he sent me a message saying, I think I'm done. I can't handle it. I had a $100,000 account. I'm down to $62,000. My wife doesn't trust me. And it's heartbreaking to hear. I sent him a reply, and we had a little bit of a discussion. And since October 5th, guys, over the last 10 days, over the last 2 weeks of trading, he has made $10,000 back from that account. So it is possible. If you guys have been losing money in your accounts, you're blowing up your accounts, it's possible to come out of this. And this strategy is by far the simplest way I have ever found for anybody to trade. It is super simple. It is super organic. I keep on using that word, but it's very, very clean. There aren't indicators. The candlesticks tell a story. Everyone does. Every candlestick tells a story. And if you can learn to read what those candlesticks are telling you, you're going to be very, very successful. The other thing you have to remember that's very important are there are rules in place with every strategy, and you need to follow the rules. Because if you're not following the rules, it's going to come back and bite you. Okay? We don't overtrade. We follow the rules. We don't revenge trade. And we stick to one strategy. Okay, I want to thank you guys for spending your time watching this video. It means a lot to me for those of you that do watch, to all the subscribers, to anybody who's new. Thank you guys as well. Good luck trading. There will be videos out on this weekend for day trades and the weekly swings coming up. So have a great weekend, everybody. I wish you nothing but the best, and we'll see you all Monday. Bye-bye.